may recall last year, Bob Erickson and I went to Germany on a vocational training team, and we wanted to study best practices of the dual vocational system. We came back and spoke with schools, companies, legislators, and our Bloomington School District, Les Fujitaki. Les Fujitaki has pushed the envelope for education with this new and exciting career and college academy. Today we have to speak to you about this new academy, Tom Holton and Gary Kressin. Tom is the Executive Director of Community Services for Bloomington and Richfield Schools. He has a BA from the University of Minnesota, a master's from the University of St. Thomas, and also held positions in other school districts. Gary Kressin is the coordinator of the Bloomington Career and College Academy. He has a BA in Technical Education from the University of Wisconsin-Stout. He has a master's in Education and Administration from the University of St. Mary's. He's also been a classroom teacher in technology and serves as a math coordinator, STEM coordinator, and career center administrator. So please welcome Tom Holton and Gary Kressin to tell us more about this new academy, this new wonderful opportunity in Bloomington.
First of all, thank you for having us here today. I am Tom Holton. I'm going to be the first presenter, and I would like to spend just a few minutes to make the case for why of the College and Career Academy. In the area of service, we welcome the encouragement by your Rotarians, including Don and Bob, in their travels to Germany in helping and encouraging the district to, as Don said, push the envelope. We're lucky to have a supportive superintendent and supportive school board that don't accept the status quo. Our community is changing, as you know, and the challenge of education are changing, and Bloomington is always quick to rise to the challenge and be a leader in what they do. And College and Career Academy is no exception. Bloomington, and you may have seen this in a previous presentation by a school board member or another Rotarian, but Bloomington has been working on a concept they call Pathways to Graduation for maybe 7 or 8 years now. And the idea is that we can take students wherever they come from birth, all the way to college and career, and create pathways to have them be successful, not only in school but in life. And 2 years ago, Minnesota passed legislation requiring all school districts to have every student college and career ready. Quite interestingly, if you go back and read the legislation, college and career ready, there are milestones along the way. Preschool ready, reading by 3rd grade, kindergarten ready, college and career ready. We are either clairvoyant, or we have people who like to copy good ideas, because all of the pathways that we created a number of years ago showed up in the state legislation. We like to think that people copy good ideas. And so the one we're going to be talking about specifically today is college and career ready. I'm going to give you some demographic data, some of which you've seen. Our community is changing. Today, our graduating seniors, 3 in 10, are living in poverty. Our incoming students, pre-K to elementary, 50% are living in poverty. That creates challenges for our community, and it certainly creates challenges for our schools, both as they go through our E12 school system, but what that means in their opportunity to move on to post-secondary education. Some additional data. If you take 100 of our students entering 9th grade now in Bloomington, we would expect that 90 of them would graduate from high school. That's a great figure. 90% graduation rate is something to be proud of. But there are 10 that are not, and as you can see from this graphic, there are 10 of them that will take more than 4 years. So we're pretty proud of that. We're trying to push that number up. That's been growing. We're a leader in that area. We're proud of that. But then what happens? Only 63 of them enroll in post-secondary education of those 100. And only 32 of those earn a degree on time. And after 6 years, 52 earn a degree, which means 40% of our Bloomington students don't end up with any kind of post-secondary degree. This mimics the state average, and I'll show you some data about that. But in addition to having that degree, the average four-year college degree student ends up with over $30,000 in debt. And you combine that with the poverty rate, and students are starting out with a great debt load. Across Minnesota, after 4 years, 27% have a degree, 6, it's 49%. And unfortunately, many of our college graduates in Bloomington and across the state are underemployed. After incurring that debt and spending 4 or 6 years, this shows how many of our graduates are now in low profile and low paying jobs. So the old dream of going to a four-year college, getting a liberal arts degree, and saying that that's going to make you successful no longer is true in the new economy. So, what is a case for change? We have an aging population. I won't point out people like Neil Peterson that are aging with me. Many people are retiring or have retired. Many Minnesota businesses, some of which I'm sure that you own and work in, are having difficulty finding qualified candidates for the positions that are open. By 2020, 74% of all jobs will require some sort of post-secondary degree or certification. And if you match those up with the figures that I shared with you earlier, you can see if you look at Bloomington, we won't be able to meet the needs of the workforce in the future if we don't change what we're doing in terms of education. So, with that, not saying woe is me and Bloomington is going in the tank. A number of years ago, we started conceptualizing the idea of a college and career academy to create additional pathways for students so that long before they graduate, they're focusing on what their career might be and what are the educational opportunities before them, both in high school and postgraduate, so that they have a degree or a certificate that will earn them a job. And so I'll turn the microphone over to Gary Kressin, our coordinator of the program. Gary has been with us just since August, and Les and I and others spent years and years conspiring and dreaming and wondering what it might be like. And then we hired Gary in August and said, go. And if you might imagine putting in place a program of this significance, Gary's done a wonderful job lining up partners, recruiting students. Neil Peterson actually helped us acquire the space. We have the space ready for them. But Gary's done a wonderful job working with community partners, and he'll tell you about the specifics or the what of the program.
Thanks, Tom, and thank you all for inviting us here today. This is exciting work that I'm doing. I'm really happy to be in the position that I am, and Bloomington Public Schools has just been really supportive in the work that we're doing in order to be proactive and help with all of these statistics that Tom shared with you. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to help these kids? That 40%, and being education's dear to me, I want to have an opportunity for all students to take advantage of the Career and College Academy, whether they know they're going to go on to a four-year degree or whether they want to go to work right after high school. We need to position them so they can be successful in whatever road or path they take, and we need to support them. While we have them, we need to support them down that path and show them the different options and opportunities for them in order to be successful citizens and have a viable career. So once again, we need to support them, help them get on a career track, and while they're in high school, why not save them some money and time as well? So they can earn college credit, actual transcripted college credit, while earning a high school credit to help them down that college pathway, if that's the pathway they choose. And let them have the opportunity to earn a technical degree while they're still in high school, and or certificates. Certificates like CPR certification, first aid certification, OSHA 10 certification through the construction pathway. Things that are really important to employers. And help prepare them for workforce with not incurring any debt while they're in high school. So what does it mean? It means they're starting to figure out what they want to do earlier on. In the past, people graduated from high school, they went to college to figure out what they were going to do. I remember hearing or talking to my peers, where are you going? Well, I'm going to go to Normandale for 2 years, get my generals out of the way, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. With the rising cost of tuition, this isn't a good option anymore. These students should be figuring this out earlier, and they need our support to do that. And so some of the courses that we have aligned with these college credits are actual courses that are aligned with the career. So not only are they earning college credit and earning certificates, but they're getting a good taste of what that career actually is. And we need the support of the community as well. One of the legs of our stool is having business and industry involved, so the students can hear what the actual employers are looking for, what they would be doing in the career, maybe having some job tours, some facility tours, job shadowing, things of that nature. And this will all give them a significant advantage over their peers and that don't have this opportunity. Here's a list of our partners, and it's growing almost daily with partners reaching out to us because they're already seeing the worker shortage, and it's going to keep rising, and they want good quality employees. We're partnered with 3 post-secondary institutions. So we have an IT pathway where students will get Dunwoody College credit and high school credit, Normandale for healthcare and criminal justice and law enforcement. You notice we missed it. We're partnered with the Bloomington Police Force as well, and they're really interested in partnering with us to getting good qualified candidates as well. On that track, Hennepin Technical College, we're partnered with EMT and EMR pathway. The building and construction trades for an apprenticeship, a pre-apprenticeship program for those kids that want to be a union contractor, a union construction worker right after high school and join their apprenticeship program and make a really decent livable wage. Here's our pathways that we're starting out with in 2015. We're already looking at expanding. On that previous slide, you noticed Northwest Health Sciences. We're looking at partnering with them as well and having possibly a massage therapy pathway as well. Walzer Foundation, we've been talking with them, a possible automotive track. And we're open for other suggestions as well. We know that we can't do it all alone, so we're reaching out for help in the community as well. So that's the work that we're doing now. We have, with those 4 pathways, we had over 190 students signed up for 360 classes. It's going to start in September, which is very exciting. A lot more than I expected right out of the gate whenever starting a new program. So now we're already starting to look at new programs for 2016, collaborating with new businesses and partners, and continuing to work with the high schools as well to identify those kids that this would really be the best fit for, to make sure that the kids know about these opportunities. So this is some of the things that the Career and College Academy will do. It's going to change the conversation. It's a new way to teach. Remove the stigma. You know, there's some perceptions out there that, well, I'll just pick on manufacturing as is a dirty job, and that's changed in the new economy. These are very clean facilities that need technically trained professionals in order to run these manufacturing plants. And so it's to educate the community and the parents and the students about these opportunities. Re-engage hands-on learners. We know that every student learns differently. There's a large group of students out there that really needs this hands-on learning in order to be successful. I was one of them. I get it. And motivate those kids that are in the academic middle that don't know if they want to go to college or that, to let them know there's other options out there. Provide opportunities and significant advantages to those students.
Are you ready for your future? At Bloomington Career and College Academy, you'll earn college and high school credits in classes that align with in-demand careers. Bloomington Career and College Academy. Enroll today.
That was just a quick little ad that we had to present the Career and College Academy and let people know that it's out there. And here's my contact information if you have more questions. I had some brochures in the back. Feel free to contact me with any questions. If you want to partner or have some good ideas for future pathways, we're open, and thanks again. And now I'll open it up to questions as well.
Before we start questions, Don and I have been working very closely on this. I want you all to realize how fortunate we are to have a superintendent like Les Fujitaki, who has developed a very collaborative environment in the schools. I can tell you by working very closely in higher education that there's very few schools in Minnesota that could do this because they do not have cooperation between their faculty and administration to make something like this possible. So this is really stretching the envelope and something that I think we all should be very proud of is happening here. We also want to make a pitch to you, which Gary maybe will make, or Tom, or Don, but they are looking for the same kind of help that we do with Strive to help mentor these students and things. But all of you should be just very proud of this going on here in the city.
Thank you. And now we'll open it up for questions yeah.
I'm a little confused. You got the schools, like Kennedy High School. How does this Career and College Academy fit in with the school at large?
The actual scheduling of it? Okay, so great question. The Career and College Academy will be housed out at the Community Education Campus, the old Lincoln High School. We renovated a portion of the second floor. And so the way the schedule will work is students are blocked. So these are block classes, which means they will come out either in the morning for first and second hour or in the afternoon for fifth and sixth hour. Transportation will be provided. So there'll be a bus that leaves Jefferson and Kennedy and brings them out to the Career and College Academy. In some instances, they will be transported to the post-secondary institutions as well, so they get that college experience. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so they miss the school and come here?
These are, so they won't be at Kennedy for those 2 hours. Instead, they will be taking 2 elective high school credits at the Career and College Academy, along with earning college credits. But they're still Bloomington Public Schools students. Yeah.
What makes this program appropriate for a student as opposed to staying on a regular course at the high school? Pull somebody out of a high school and send them to this as opposed to leaving them on the high school track.
This is just another opportunity, another option for them. These are classes that don't already exist at the high school. So if a student, for instance, knows that they want to be a nurse for their career, they can come out to the Career and College Academy and take some college-level healthcare courses that align with being a nurse that are transcripted credits. So they can already get 6 college credits before they leave high school, directly related with their career goals.
I guess I'm saying, what qualifies them for this program? How would they qualify for this?
By being a Bloomington Public School student. That was one thing, is we wanted to make sure it was an opportunity for all students.
What if they're an Edina public school student?
Right now, they can open enroll in Bloomington Public Schools and take their other courses at the high school. Yeah.
How many students do you have involved this year?
Great. We have over 190 that are signed up to start in September.
Was that roughly evenly split between Kennedy and Jefferson students?
You know, it was pretty close. There's about a little bit more than 30 more Kennedy kids. Yeah.
This does not replace post-secondary. Students can still do post-secondary at college level course.
Yeah, so PSEO is still there. That's still an option. This is just another option. Yeah.
What kind of students is this program actually attracting? For example, just smart students, high achieving students. Who's it?
Great question. The question was who's attracted to this program? What type of students will be there? And all of the above. I don't know the percentage breakdown, but there's some students that I've talked to that already know that they're going to be a doctor, and they want to come to here to take a course called medical terminology and get started. There's going to be another group of students that want to take the construction pathway that have no intention of going to college. They want to start construction right after high school, making a livable wage without incurring any debt. Now, they might change their mind and do what I did, is use the construction pathway while going to college to help pay my college as well. So, yeah, it's open for all students.
Yeah. Gary, could you talk more about the hands-on things that you're doing?
Sure, thank you. Great question. More about the hands-on. We wanted to really make sure that they were getting an applied, relevant learning experience in the career field that they're involved in. One thing that we're doing that's really unique is we need to be flexible with the schedule as well. So the building and construction trades, 15 days out of the trimester, they're going to be bussed out to one of the building and construction trades training center, where the apprenticeships actually get their education and training while they're working in the field. So they'll be out there for a 4-hour block learning at their training site with union and construction apprenticeships helping out. All of the courses at the Career and College Academy will be set up and taught in such a way so they're getting that relevant experience and applied learning. Yeah.
I certainly applaud this because there's so many of our students that are really missing opportunities at the high school level. And so tell me a little bit more about how you advertise this and how do you attract students to the program? How do they become aware of it? How do they know that it fits for them?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great question. And that was really the bulk of, a big bulk of my work up until registration was marketing and advertising this to the community and to the students. I worked really closely with the district's marketing manager, Kate Martin, who has been a great help, and she's been really creative and coming up in ways. And I've gone around and talked to PTOs, student groups, and just there's emails that are going out. There's the flyers or brochures that I mentioned. There was that little movie trailer ad that was shown at Southdale Cinema for a few weeks. But the main thing that's going to really grow this is word of mouth. And that's why we're being so conscientious to make sure that we do this very, very well. And so when the kids go back to Jefferson or Kennedy or somewhere else in the community and talk to other kids, they brag about the experience that they're getting and how well it's preparing them for their future. Thank you. Yeah.
Gary, how are you going to judge success? I know you've been year one, got 100 kids in. We know it's the right thing. Well, we feel it's the right thing to do based on what we've studied. How are you then in 1 year, 2 year, 5 years going to sit back and say, this is where we're going to, this tells me we're hitting the mark?
Great. And I'll let, Tom's done more of this work, so I'll let him answer this one.
Great question. And one of the hallmarks of Bloomington schools is it's great to have a number of great inputs, but you really need to measure the outputs. And so we are working with an economist, and we're going to set up a long-range study, work with our partners, Hennepin County, our post-secondary, and track data. We're working with the legislature right now. There's currently a disconnect between high school data, college data, and workforce data. We think we're on the verge of being able to pull those together. And so we're going to set up a longitudinal study, look at groups of students, where they are in high school, how they do in college, and ultimately measure what kind of career success they have at the end of the road. So that's our plan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Stay up here a second.